Well, good morning, folks. We're on the road here again. In a rare occasion, I'm actually following Greg. He's got a 10 by 18 Bancroft shed on the back of his truck. If you can see in the rear view, I've got an outhouse on my trailer. We couldn't get them both to fit on the 20-foot trailer, so I had to run back. We got a bit of a late start today to grab a trailer, and now I'm following Greg. We got about a 3.5-hour one-way mission to go and drop these buildings off, and then we're going to drop another build off from the station. We sold one of the models up there, which is not something we usually do. We want the models for people to see them, but in this case, Buddy was pretty excited to get his hands on it before the hunt season starts, which is next Friday. So we're on the road. Well, we made her. Bit of a overcast, soggy day. There's a bit of mud on the driveway on the way in here, so we'll see how Greg does getting up there. My truck had no problem, but I'm carrying a lot less weight than he is. So we're on a remote acreage here in central Ontario, parts unknown as always. And here's the pad where we're gonna stick our 10 by 18 Bancroft. It looks like our customer here has done a bit of a base, and he's actually put some perpendicular skids into place so that our skids can sit right on top of that. So that's not a bad idea. It looks like it's nice and level, which is always the biggest challenge. That's awesome. But look at this beautiful acreage where this building is going to now be nestled, and it's got a new home off in the woods here where our buildings often end up, right? So when you're looking at your property, or maybe you're shopping for property, having this in the back 40 is going to be pretty cool. So we'll do the after shot. Hopefully we don't have too much trouble getting Greg in here, but I'll go find out what's going on with them. Okay, so Greg's putting her into place. This is a nice, easy drop for us. There's lots of space around the building. No trees in the way. Not to throw Matt under the bus from last week, but there's no birches to go around. And this thing's going to sit. Our customer's taking the time to even throw a line in here so that we can get it nice and square to where he wants it. It's got fabric down underneath the gravel, which is a good idea if that's something you want to do. It'll keep the weeds from growing up underneath this. And he's already pre-leveled this, so it's a pretty easy drop for us. Nice little building. Surprisingly, the smaller something is, the tougher it is to move. It's really tippy, and there's not a lot of area on it to get a handle on it. So luckily, in this case, our customer has a tractor with a set of forks. We're gonna take this outhouse and put it back here on this little pad that he's built, which is awesome. Nice and close to the bunkie, which is right over here. And they're gonna use a composting toilet back here, which is really cool. Okay, folks, so here's the finished product. Beautiful piece of land, trails everywhere. These are equestrians, so they actually have horse riding trails, and they're going to focus on renting this out to people as a bed and bale, which is a kind of a cool idea. I'm not really familiar with that, but it's something that's it's a thing apparently. So this is a 10 by 18 Bancroft. We've seen this before, just did a little tour of it, but now that she's in here, I'll give you a little peek. I'll stay out of here because my feet are kind of muddy, but of course a beautiful pine lined interior, windows right where they wanted them. And this is facing like almost perfectly south here, so the sun's gonna come across throughout the day. And they just have like so much land in here. I mean, this is a large acreage. But then in the back here, I'm pretty sure they're gonna build some pathways and whatnot. We got this on a really good pad. And then in the back here, they've got their outhouse. This is just a standard outhouse. We do sell these too with an outswing door. I'm just gonna have a look in here quickly. So this is just standard framing with the house wrap on it. They can improve as time goes on. My understanding is they're gonna do the bucket method, the humanure method with the outhouse here. But we're only about 50 feet away from the other cabin. So awesome spot, love it. It's really cute, super private. And they're gonna rent this out, I think, for a real bargain at like 150 bucks a night, and you have your own private property with a trail network. Just friggin' gorgeous. There's Bancroft, folks. Let's go grab a Killarney. So we got to get motor in because we're going to grab a second building today and move it as well. Bit of a muddy driveway here, but Greg did a good job of getting the building onto the pad. So we're just going to head north of where we were, about 45 minutes, grab another building from the satellite lot, and then travel another 45 or so minutes to get that out of there. So lots on the go today. We're running out of light. Well, here's a day in the life of the traveling outbuilding guy. Raining today. Greg's already up grabbing that other building, which is awesome. He got ahead of me. Hopefully he's got her on the trailer by the time I get there and I can help him strap her down. Of course, we're going to get soaked making this delivery, and then we're going to run out of daylight. It is already 4 o'clock, and in late October, as you know, if you live in Ontario, it gets dark really fast. So we're getting there. I'm trying to catch up to him. I'm about a half an hour from the station, and then we're gonna head off east to drop off another building. And as usual on a Friday afternoon, my kids will be wondering where I am, so stay tuned. The locals are out waiting for me. This next building's actually going to a hunt camp, and you girls better be careful. Go on now. It's amazing how quickly they disappear into the bush. All right, so we're in here in the, literally in the middle of nowhere. This is a pretty amazing off-grid property back in a vast hunting acreage. So they got some other buildings around here. One of the fellas has purchased our barn roof model, and then we're gonna stick it on top of this deck here. This is looks to be a really solid, it's got helical piles on one side. Really nice solid deck here. So it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. The owner took some time and situated a side-by-side with a winch cable run through a shackle there, so double the power pulling force. We may not need that. Greg's got a plan to get this building off the back of the trailer and then onto the deck here. But it's starting to get dark, so we're gonna get to work and we'll get this thing on here. Okay, so here's the plan, and I'll try to set up a time lapse for this. I got a good spot to put it. So we're gonna get this thing on the ground. The customers asked us to place it on the deck, but hang the back over, because we're gonna have, it's got a bathroom in this back corner here. So I think he wants to drain out here. We're not gonna need that outhouse anymore. So it's actually gonna overhang this deck by a bit. That's what he's asked us to do. Whether he shores that up later or not, it's up to him, I guess. There are good beams here. So we're gonna have the front pushed back so that he can have a bit of a porch out front. We'll get it over as far to that side as possible and overhanging just a little bit. But 2 feet out of that 16-foot skid shouldn't really matter. And then that gives them access to get the plumbing out of the building. So Greg's getting the mule off the truck here. I'm gonna go find a place to set this thing up so you guys can see what's going on. All right, so now it's full dark. We got her on the deck. Just trying to figure out how to get it further back on the deck. They want to actually overhang this thing a bit. So we got another, I don't know, 4 or 6 feet to go. We may want to engage the winch situation here. We'll see if we can get her back further. They're hoping to have a bit of a porch here on the front, so we're figuring it out. Okay, so we got her squared up on the platform here. The light you're seeing is from my truck, just trying to give a little bit of air. So it's kind of sitting where we need to get it sitting. And the goal, I think, is going to be to back the trailer up and see if we can give the building a nudge with the actual edge of the trailer deck and push it backwards. So we'll see how we do there. So we're able to get her to scooch back a bit. We're almost out of travel on the trailer. We got the building all the way to the back of the deck. He wants it to overhang a bit, but I think you could still get plumbing out on the bottom here. So I'm just gonna do a little little chit-chatting with the other fella here and see what they think. Okay, folks, well, 'tis the season, right? It gets dark early. We worked hard to get this in here. But there she is. Once Greg pulls the trailer out, I'll do one little video. But we got the overhang here just the way customers asked, so he can get his plumbing out the back of the shed. And then the front got lots of porch here too, right? So he can still utilize this deck. We got it squared up as best we could. And now this hunt cabin is out here at this hunt camp in the middle of nowhere. Pretty cool. All right, so here's the wrap up, folks. Got the building on top of the deck. Got the deck in the middle of the woods. Got the keys for the building. Please tell me I brought the right keys. It's the right key. So now this barn roof cabin that we built as a prototype with the loft upstairs, little kitchen area here, bathroom area here, found a home. And we'd love to bring a building to your home too whenever you see fit. So I'm going to close this up and I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching as always. And we'd love to bring you a building over here at Highland Outbuildings. Oh, there's my hand in the way. You can check us out at highlandoutbuildings.com. Call me anytime at 705-309-9088. You need a hunt camp? I'll build you one. Have a great weekend.